Hey everybody, this is Antoine with the Alana Marie Project. Excited to be here with you on this Sunday evening. Really just wanted to take the time to hop on here to talk with everybody regarding our first edition of TAMP Talks, which is really the Alana Marie Project Talks. We decided to do this whole video segment of just getting videos together, hearing from people regarding their loss of a child, their experiences, and really the very first segment that we are doing here is pertaining to grieving fathers. So that video is going to air this week. So I am honored and blessed to have Curtis Winkle here with me. Curtis Winkle, he is one of our board members, but he is also one of the fathers that actually spoke on the Grieving Fathers video. So really just pulling Curtis in here just to get his take on the video. So Curtis, thank you for joining me here today. Really, my first question for you is, so we, the fathers, just recently watched this video, and I just really want to get your first reaction, your initial take after watching the Grieving Fatherhood video.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, Antoine, man, I appreciate it. I'm excited and thrilled to be a part of the organization. I really love and support the Alana Marie Project. I really think that they're doing good work. I know that they're doing good work. So it's an honor and a privilege, man. But yeah, we did just watch the video, and to be honest, I, we dealt with this, when it happened. So me and my wife dealt with it, and like we thought that we, got through it, and we did get through it. But watching it again and watching it with, all these people, because I mean, the only person that I knew was you. And we really just did it like I really just did it out of the love that I have for you, the love that I have for your wife, your family, and the Alana Marie Project. But watching my wife kind of like really get emotional, and these other wives get emotional, and all these men, I really it kind of took me back. It really allowed me to realize that I think we're doing something different with these camp talks and at the Alana Marie Project. I think we're really shedding a light and kind of spotlighting an issue and a stigma that's been covered up far too long, especially in not especially, but just in like Black communities. In Black communities, we don't talk about mental health. We don't talk about grief, and just male dominant circles. It's all about bravado, and if you're crying, it's weakness. If we're supposed to just provide, pull up our bootstraps, lace them up, and just go to work and kind of not address these things. But to me, some of the most impactful times in my life, in the most bonding moments in my life with my family, with my kids, with my wife, was when they seen that I cared about things, and they seen that through the sorrow that I expressed. So when I got to do this, when I got to do this talk, it just increased the relationship that I have with my wife, and so I was just very thankful for that, and I got to see that on the faces. I got to see that in the conversations that we had, prior to that talk. When the cameras went off and everybody stopped rolling, like we again got to bond over this time of just talking about something that we all went through that was tragic. And it just it opened up some doors for a lot of healing to happen.
I agree 100%, man. I mean, that was truly a special day, a day that I'll never forget. And it's rare that you get the opportunity to capture those moments behind the lens. So I'm super thankful that, yourself, David Bishop, Philip Cunningham, Ahmed for moderating. Like, I'm so thankful that we were able to capture that moment and be able to share it with the world, because you hit on a lot of good things there. As men, a lot of times we're not really out there showing emotion. We are more so trying to be that provider and trying to basically just help ease the pain for everybody else, but we don't always deal with our own grief, our own mental health. So I think this video is really going to be a huge advocate for fathers to initially just kind of, we can still be all those things to our family, but we also have to make sure that we're able to take care of ourselves as well. So really, my final question for you, and then we will share a clip of the video. Again, the Tamp Talks Grieving Father video will be out this Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. But really, Curtis, if you could just share with us your thoughts on what you're hoping people can take from this video, I'd love to hear that from you.
Yeah, man, that's a good question. I think what I hope people to get from this is, because these are traumatic experiences, and they're very, very tough. And sometimes pressure, it allows us to make a lot of foolish decisions. And I know in this particular situation, men are under a lot of pressure. Women typically have a better support system than men. They have, and they're more empathetic. Most women are empaths, so that helps them. But men, they kind of get isolated, they get secluded, and that the pressure just kind of builds up, and then they say pressure busts pipes, but sometimes pressure makes diamonds. You know what I mean? So, and I think where I'm going with that is in the Bible, in Luke, Jesus is talking about people that follow him to deny their self, pick up their cross, and follow him, right? And for a long time, I was like, that's a weird analogy. Like I didn't really get it. But then I started growing up, I started going through things, and I realized that the burdens that I bear and the situations that I come across could impact other people's lives for the better. That I could go through something, I could suffer through something, and then I could pass that knowledge and that wisdom on to somebody else, whether it be my children, whether it be my friends, whether it be strangers that, that I may be spreading the gospel to, and whether it be kids at my church, or what have you. There's a multitude of people that you will impact with your actions. They say you'll always be an example of either what to do or what not to do. And in situations like this that God puts us in, it gives us a good opportunity to be the example of what to do. And I talk about prayer a lot in the video, and you guys will see that. So that is another big piece that I hope people get from it is, our prayer life with God is a direct communication. We don't need intercessors. Like, we have the ability to do that ourselves. And it allows you to show your heart in front of your wife when you're praying with her at night. A lot of times we put on this shield because we're going off into the world, and we have to provide, and we have to do those things that we talked about earlier. But in your time of prayer, it's also a time of vulnerability in front of those that you love, whether it be, your kids or your wife, and you guys can kind of get on the same page. But I also want people to realize that God is every bit of who he says he is. So he will sustain you in whatever situation you're in. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of times you feel like you're in a wilderness when you are going through something as tragic as the loss of your child. And I just want people to remember that even in the wilderness, there's many times that people are going through things and God is sustaining them through that. Whether it's, Israel being exiled from Egypt, God still provided the manna, still provided a way, still provided and sustain them. We all, in church, we always say, Jehovah Jireh, our provider, like, because he is that. Whether it's the 3 Hebrew boys that are under immense amount of pressure in the book of Daniel, getting ready to be tossed into this furnace, and still have the audacity to let the king know that it doesn't matter what you do to us, that our God is bigger than you, is bigger than this situation, and can pull us out. But even if he doesn't, he still is who he says he is. And we have to remember that. We have to remember that he will sustain all of our needs in the time of, of our suffering, and in the time of, when we need him the most, he'll be there, there's countless examples. You have the spies in Canaan, 12 go, 10, see giants, and they look at themselves as those that are going to be defeated by giants. They see these killers of men, and 2 of them remembered the promise that God gave them and saw themselves as giant killers. And I hope people take from that that in these times of tragedy, like you can be a giant killer. God will sustain you through whatever it is, that you're going through, along with, some of the other stuff that we talked about in the video.
Absolutely, man. I truly appreciate that perspective and wisdom, and just so excited for everyone to be able to just see more of that and more of our discussion pertaining to grief and fathers. So, really, at this time, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to share our grieving fathers clip here. So we'll go ahead, see if we can get that going. And actually, here, 1 second before we do that, just make sure you guys can hear the sound. Okay. Here we go.
The first thing I wanted to do was go back to work.
I was running from the pain that I was feeling.
I can't put my feelings over my wife.
You doing whatever it takes to not feel that pain that you feel.
I had to be righteous because I want to know, I want to meet my child.
I wanted my son.
All right, so everyone, that was a video clip for the Tamp Talks Grieving Fathers, episode 1. It will be aired on
touched and empowered by the Holy Spirit. Amen.
actually, so it's going to be aired on Thursday, February 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Please join us. We're looking forward to having you here. Thank you all for your time here today, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Take care. Bye.